Weird. That's usually the skin like and then here's the. That's when the thing's supposed to come in. Show you guys what we've got done.
Yeah, 2-player works also. I was just playing this a second ago.
We've already shown that it works. We've already talked about that. Here's another thing. We've got one of our first enemies. Well, don't want to get too close.
We should call him a frenemy.
Jump over! Whee! Ooh! Oh no. Oh, kobolds. Can't kill the farmer, you can only stun them. And right here is the female peasant. She's got a butcher knife. Stay out of her way. But here's something. Don't. Oh no! She got me there. Yeah. She doesn't stay down long right now. I gotta fix that. Oh. I need to make the kobold's attack radius bigger. Bam.
Is there a way we make their unconscious bodies just pass throughable?
Yeah, I'll need it. Program it in though. But there's some of our first AI. Well, or the enemies. The AI is incredibly simple. It's just, walk back and forth. There's there's an imaginary boundary here that causes them to turn, change direction. And if they detect the kobold in front of them, they'll attack them. So it's very simple enemies. We're not going for anything really complex here. I just got killed. Yeah, you can't stand on those. She'll get you.
Yeah. But it makes it easier to jump over her if you're on them.
Yeah. Right. Oh crap.
Yep, so betray your friends. Knock them right into there.
Oops. Oh, let's hold them down.
Baby. So next week probably get the rest of the enemies ready for this level. Get the other switch put in. Get the baby. Think we can get the baby?
Yeah, we can probably start working on that now. Baby.
Cool. And then from there we'll work on the screens, since we have them all ready.
Well, yeah, we also got a, game over logic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That needs to be added. It's currently, if you lose all your lives, which I'll show you right here, BAM!
It just stays here.
Yeah. Nothing. There's no game over screen. You add that. Game over. Or, yeah.
Quest failed. And has a little screen of them all getting served for dinner. What a glorious game we've made. But the budget of this game slowly creeps higher and higher. So at this point we have to sell about 3,000 copies. But you're YouTube. You can help us with that. Help us at least break even with this minigame. So we don't have to kill ourselves.
Alright, well, there we go. So that was pretty cool. One thing that I don't know if we're gonna add this or not. You can cut out this little thing right here. Just in case we do add it, I was gonna say that one thing that William had talked about for raising money was after we completed, our brawler games, to create a brawler starter kit, kind of like the platformer starter kit, and you can sell that for like $35, $50 or so.
On like maybe from our own side, or maybe from the greatness of Garage Games if they're interested.
Yeah. And so that's always an option, because
Yeah.
apparently people have asked.
Yeah.
But,
I actually received email inquiring if they could use our engine.
the engine is nowhere near easy to use right now. It's a lot of hacks. It would need to be rewritten. Like the whole shadow thing, that's a pretty big hack. that's actually two separate scene objects that I mount together, and I use a separate component to determine offset. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, but it works.
It works, yes. It does work.
Do you want to talk about what Torque just did to us? By being so greatly generous, but too late?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so Torque recently released their new version, 3.1.5. And so what had happened was Garage Games had really neglected Torque X, and the community had to rely on each other to publish bug fixes. And this one guy, he goes by the name of Pino, or Pino. His name is like Giuseppe something like that. And he had, I think I've actually mentioned this before.
You mentioned that, yeah, because you got to get STK right.
Well, yeah, I was able to get access to his Subversion, with all his fixes to improve the speed of Torque. And so I just merged a bunch of my fixes. People were merged a whole bunch of their stuff, and it was pretty good. But what happened was Garage Games had finally listened. It's like, yeah, our Torque X is really subpar quality. There's a lot of issues that need to be improved, and their 3D product didn't even work. And so they decided to put a lot of effort into Torque X this year. They hired a whole bunch of people to work on it. They got interns from a nearby college, to do QA and to help work on it. And so Torque X, this new version, they merged a whole bunch of the bug fixes. They added, it was a release focused entirely on bug fixes and getting it to a very workable state. Like the 3D builder no longer constantly crashes and everything. And throughout this, they decided that as a thank you, it was like a multifaceted thing. It was partially a way to say we're sorry for neglecting Torque X for so long, and they just didn't feel that the Torque X, it wasn't worth an extra $250 just to get the 3D component. So what they did is they merged the 2D and the 3D versions back together because it makes it easier for them because they don't have a split code base, and so we now have Torque X 3D because they merged it all back together.
Which made a lot of our 2.5D work.
Yeah, it was having the 3D would make it really easy to do a brawler, because one of the main things was jumping. We wanted to have jumping, and that's where we had the whole shadow hacking, because we're using the 2D product, so we have 2 dimensions, X, X and Y, and
that's all we could afford.
Yeah, and the 3D version wasn't really out at that time, and they had issues, and we didn't want to pay the extra $100 for it.
So we were poor and college studenty.
Yeah, and so we never got it. If we had a 3D component, we could just lay the background as a billboard, and we have a Z coordinate, so we can easily add jumping and whatnot. Just use billboards to construct everything. But since we didn't have a Z component, we had to hack in our own Z. And that's where the shadow and the mounting and all that crap came in. But it would be a lot easier now to program the engine with the 3D stuff. And that's actually something we might consider later on.
For episode 2 or Cheetahman 3.
Yeah. Because I really do want to remake some of the engine for the next games to make it more extensible, easier, to make it quicker to make levels.
Yeah. And
to get into a state where after Cheetahman, we might want to, try and sell a beat 'em up starter kit. That's always good money for
Ron said he would do it if we want to buy generic sprites. He'll make more sprites. No problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whoa, just make Final Fight style, some generic. Be like, okay, people can get the rights to these sprites when they buy the kit, and they can hack apart the sprites if they want.
Mm-hmm. And so it's just something we've been considering.
Yeah. And
just to let you know, I recently got. So I got I upgraded Kobold's Quest to 3.1.5. I used Pino's Subversion repository because he added a couple bug fixes that he made, and because apparently there was a pretty major bug in 3.1.5, a rendering issue where things appeared kind of like pink. There was an issue somewhere where alpha transparencies weren't being used correctly, and
Causing a halo.
yeah, and so he fixed it in his thing, and so that's nice. And he also added some of his new things. Like, one of the things he created was mouse keyboard management for Windows. I think it's just mouse management, really. I don't know. Keyboard might be in. I don't know. But, yeah, keyboard is, and he added a mouse management support. But it's just, you know, I haven't updated Dungeons yet, but it should be pretty painless. And yeah. But that's our update for right
Excellent. This would be an episode in and of itself.
now. Yeah, pretty much. YouTube! Yeah, like YouTube time limit!
That's exactly my feelings.
Except William would probably cry when he said it.
Yeah, because I used to have a director's account. I used to be a contender.
He used to have it, and then YouTube's like, you don't do much. And he's like, no!
Yeah, because I was with YouTube right when they first started.
Yeah. It really sucks. William would really like longer videos. At least 20-minute videos.
Yeah, because when seriously, when I go over them, the reason why they're so choppy at times, because I ran out. I have to start shaving off seconds and to get it down into
Yeah.
a 10-minute window.
So every single time I pause for half a second, chop, chop.
Yep.
You know that William's desperate when he suddenly starts seeing mini jump cuts in a row. He's trying to condense everything as
Compactly as possible. I remember one point I was literally dropping a frame a second just trying to knock it down, which is what they tried in Terminator 2, and it failed there as badly as it failed here. Why does it look like everything is... Ugh. Man. That was...
Yeah. Okay.
Alright. Bye, everybody.